The Earth grid. The Earth grid. The lines of latitude and longitude intersect as shown in the figure at right angles. Remember, the lines of latitude and longitude intersect as shown in figure at right angles. See the figure, not the any other figure, only this figure, the equator, the round, the circle, the globe, whatever it is there. The grid formed by these crisscrossing lines is called geographic grid or the earth grid. The absolute location of a place is its location on the geographic grid. The earth grid helps us to locate a place easily. Take the help of your teacher if she is available and do the activity given here to clearly understand how to locate a place on the grid map. Longitude and time. Longitude and time. Before the railways were started in 1800s, each place had its own time. The length of the shadow cast by an object indicated the time. The shadow was shortest at the noon and the longest at sunrise and sunset. At each place, whenever the sun was directly overhead, it was considered to be noon. This was called the solar time or the local time, and it was defined by the position of the sun. The solar day was the time it took for the sun to return to the same point in the sky. Longitude and time. Before the railways were started in 1800s, each place had its own time. The length of the shadow cast by an object indicated the time. The shadow was shortest at noon, longest at sunrise and sunset. At each place, whenever the sun was directly overhead, it was considered to be noon. This was called the solar time or the local time. It was defined by the position of the sun. The solar day was the time it took for the sun to return to the same point in the sky. Activity for the formative assessment, see for yourself. As the earth rotates, the sun shines directly over each meridian once every day. When the meridian of Greenwich, that is 0 degrees, has the sun directly overhead, every place along the meridian has noon or midday. As the earth rotates from west to east, remember, west to east, the places which are to the east of Greenwich are ahead of Greenwich time, and those to the west are behind it. Remember, New Year celebration at Japan. Thus the sun rises in Delhi before it does in London. It is night in London when it is sunrise at Delhi. Similarly, when the sun rises in London, it is still night in New York, which lies to the west of London. Time taken by the earth to rotate once around its own axis one day. One day is 24 hours. 24 into 60 is 1440 minutes. One rotation of the earth is 360 degrees longitude. Therefore, time taken to turn the distance of 1 degree is 1440 divided by 360, that is 4 minutes. Therefore, the time taken to turn 15 degrees of longitudinal distance is 15 into 4, 60 minutes, that is equal to 1 hour. Let us calculate the time in New York and in Tokyo when it is 10 a.m. in Mumbai. Mumbai 73 degrees east longitude, New York 74 degrees west, and Tokyo 140 degrees east. The difference in longitude between Mumbai and New York is 73 plus 74, that is 147 degrees. Since New York lies to the west of prime meridian and Mumbai to the east of prime meridian, the longitudes are the two places. A difference between the two places, 147 into 4 minutes is 588 minutes. 588 minutes divided by 60 hours is 9 hours 48 minutes. Since New York is to the west of Mumbai, the time is behind Mumbai, so subtract the difference from the time in Mumbai. So 10 a.m. at Mumbai minus 9 hours 48 minutes, 0 hours and 12 minutes. Therefore, the time is 12 minutes past midnight in New York, when it is 10 a.m. in Mumbai. Similarly, the difference in longitude between Mumbai and Tokyo, 140 degrees minus 73 degrees, that is 67 degrees. Since both the places are in eastern hemisphere, subtract the longitude of one from the other. The difference in time between two places, 67 degrees into 4 minutes, is 268 minutes. 268 minutes divided by 60 hours, 4 hours, 28 minutes. Since Tokyo is to east of Mumbai, its local time is ahead of Mumbai. So add the difference to the time in Mumbai. 10 a.m. plus 4 hours 28 minutes is 14 hours 28 minutes, that is 2:38 p.m. Therefore, the time 2:38 p.m. in Tokyo when it is 10 a.m. in Mumbai. Calculate this one, learn it properly because it is required throughout your life. Time zones of the world time zones. In 1878, Sir Sanford Fleming, 1827-1915, developed a system of worldwide time zones that we still use today. He proposed that the world be divided into 24 time zones, each separated by 15 degrees longitude. He chose the figure because Earth completes a rotation every 24 hours and there are 360 degrees of longitude. So the Earth rotates 360 degrees divided by 24 or 15 degrees every hour. Standard time. The local time of a place depends on the meridian of longitude that passes through it. There are several longitudes passing through India. There would be great confusion if each place in the country followed its local time. It would not be possible to prepare a common railway or airline timetable for the country if each place were to follow a different local time. To avoid this confusion, most countries follow a standard time. The standard time for each country is usually taken as the time of the central meridian of that country. The local time of the central meridian of India is 82 degrees 30 seconds east. 82 degrees 30 minutes or 30 seconds, just wait. How to read this? We have seen somewhere, no? Okay, we'll see later. Has taken a standard time for the entire country. It is called the Indian Standard Time, IST. The central meridian passes through Mirzapur in Allahabad. Important, remember this one. The local time of the central meridian of India is 82 degrees 30 minutes east. It is taken as the standard time for the entire country. It is called Indian Standard Time, IST. The central meridian passes through Mirzapur and near Allahabad. The local time of the central meridian of India is 82 degrees 30 minutes east. It is taken as standard time for the entire country. It is called the Indian Standard Time. The central meridian passes through Mirzapur and Allahabad. The standard time of a country can be used to calculate how far it is ahead or behind Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Greenwich Mean Time is the local time at Greenwich. Thus, it can be used for the purpose of calculating time globally. GMT is now known as Universal Time Coordinated, UTC. GMT is now known as Universal Time Coordinated, UTC. Since India is to the east of Greenwich, IST is 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. Countries like Canada, USA and Russia with a vast longitudinal extent have more than one standard time. Russia has 11 time zones, more than any other country. Remember this one. This is important. Since India is to the east of Greenwich, IST is 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. Countries like Canada, USA and Russia with a vast longitudinal extent have more than one standard time. Russia has 11 time zones, remember, more than any other country. The International Dateline. The International Dateline is an internationally agreed time change line. It is drawn approximately along the 180 degrees meridian, deviating carefully to avoid land areas in the Pacific Ocean. If one crosses this line while moving from west to east, you lose a day, and one comes across the line while moving from east to west, you gain a day. For example, assume that it is 24th June to the west of IDL and 25th June to the east of IDL. Now if you cross the IDL, what is IDL? International Dateline. You will find that you have moved from 24th to 25th June, you lose a day. And if you cross IDL from east to west, you will find that you have moved 24th to 25th to 24th June, you gain a day. The concept of measuring time in times of seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, fortnights and years will become more clear when you study the motions of the earth in the following chapter. Axis, an imaginary line running through the center of the earth from north to south pole on which earth spins. Equator, 0 degrees latitude, an imaginary line that divides the earth into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Globe, a spherical round model of the earth. Latitude, an imaginary line running horizontally across the globe. Longitude, an imaginary line running vertically around the globe. Prime meridian, 0 degrees longitude that passes through Greenwich. Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north. During the summer solstice, June 21st, the sun is directly overhead. Tropic of Capricorn, 23 degrees to the south. During the winter solstice, December 22nd, the sun is directly overhead. A globe is a three-dimensional model of the earth. It rotates on slanted axis. Latitudes are parallels or imaginary parallel lines that run horizontally across the globe. The equator is the 0 degrees latitude, divides the earth into northern and southern hemisphere. Depending on the amount of the heat received from the sun, the earth is divided into torrid zone, tropical zone, temperate zone, frigid zone, or polar zone climate zones. What are that? Torrid is tropical, temperate, and frigid is polar. Longitudes or meridians are lines of equal length that run vertically across the globe. The meridian that runs through Greenwich in England is assigned 0 degrees. It is called the prime meridian. The earth has been divided into 24 time zones. Each zone differs with a neighborhood of 1 hour. The International Dateline is a broken line drawn roughly along the 180 degrees meridian. Passengers crossing it gain or lose a day as they move from east to west and west to east respectively. With that we stop now.